And we are live once again. Hopefully this is not another complete disaster like the last one. Why does this always happen? Why does this always happen with me? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, God, my internet curse. It's like, God, I'm such a boomer. I mean, I'm not even a boomer, but it feels like I'm a boomer sometimes. What is going on here? Why does the internet hate me? Why do you hate me, internet? I don't hate you. I actually kind of like you, internet. Okay, so everybody, okay, I see a couple of you guys in the chat. All right, look, you guys in the chat. I sent the Google Hangout links to a bunch of you guys. Intro again? I was talking about my whole. Nah, nobody wants to hear about that, right? Okay, so Aquaman. Let me read intro to Aquaman, and we'll get into the live review. Okay. Once home to the most advanced civilization on Earth, the city of Atlantis is now an underwater kingdom ruled by King Orm. You know, he never really seemed that power hungry to me. With a vast army at his disposal, Orm plans to conquer the remaining oceanic people and then the surface world. Standing in his way is Aquaman, Orm's half-brother, half human, half Atlantean brother, and true heir to the throne. Well, it's a matter of debate, really. With help from Royal Council of Volco, Aquaman must retrieve the legendary trident of Atlan and embrace his destiny as protector of the deep. So, you know, I should probably say, for those of you who aren't familiar with my history with DC, I love DC. I'm a DC fan. And it's been some sad years, you know, since, say, what is it, 2015, 2016, or was it 2014 when Man of Steel came out? Me being originally a defender of Man of Steel, and in many ways I still do, but if you cast your minds all the way back to right after Man of Steel, I remember clearly some of what was going around the internet of some liked Man of Steel, some didn't like Man of Steel, but everybody said what they wanted, and they were pretty much unanimous in what they said they wanted next. They didn't want a movie of any other character. They said, we want another standalone Superman movie where Lex Luthor is an actual villain rather than a bumbling idiot, and where Superman can really become the proper hero, and then we go from there, and we slowly build the universe, just like Marvel did. That's what people wanted. And that was the beginning of Warner Brothers and DC not listening to the fans. Well, fast forward a couple of years, and they're listening to the fans now. I mean, they finally were dragged kicking and screaming towards the reality that is, you got to listen to the fans. You got to give the fans what they want. I mean, this is a lesson that Star Wars is still struggling to learn, but they'll get there in the end eventually too. And as a DC fan, it was so great to actually see a DC movie in which Aquaman is acting like he's actually enjoying being Aquaman. He's actually enjoying being Aquaman. We know Jason Momoa, who's playing Aquaman. He loves it. He's going around the circuits. He's joking around. He's having a good time. And it's just so good to see that again. So good to see that. So I find that myself being very forgiving for Aquaman for that reason as a DC fan. And also because of the fact that it's Aquaman. I mean, they've kind of got a get out of jail free card going on there. I mean, they can just, like, Aquaman's not the kind of movie where you're supposed to take it too seriously. I mean, if you try to do the movie in a way that you want people to take Aquaman seriously, they're just going to laugh at him even more. So you can't do that. So thank God Zack Snyder's not around with his dark and gritty version of Aquaman. Remember when we first saw the photos of him? All the color was desaturated. It was just, it was just terrible. It was terrible. So let me screen share so you guys got something to look at. But look at Aquaman now. Look at him. Look at him. Look at all that color. I'm skipping a bit, but let me go to the other one. There we go. Look at him now. He's still got the intense stare, as he should, as a king. But there's color. He's wearing like the comic accurate outfit, and he wasn't the only one. There was where is he? Actually, I don't have a photo of him. Great. Okay, well, Ocean Master here in the big battle scene at the end. Actually, wait, I do have a thing of that. Let me find it. There we go. Ocean Master there, comic accurate costumes. That is comic accurate. That is exactly how he is supposed to look. And it's so great to see that. I mean, Aquaman now has color, as he should. Aquaman is more happy, as he should. I mean, it actually struck me. Aquaman's one of the few characters that has both of his parents alive. I mean, that's a big deal for a DC movie. I suppose it's a big deal for any kind of comic book characters. But yeah, it was great to see that. I mean, they went all in with the wackiness, with the silliness. We had a big battle scene at the end with a giant kraken monster and sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their head. I mean, what's not to love? What's not to love? I mean, everybody had fun making this. And it was great to see like the underwater effects they did. We saw a little bit of that of Batman v Superman, but it seems they worked out some of the chinks because it worked really well. It works so well because when they originally announced Aquaman, I actually didn't think they would do this. I thought they were going to do it that Atlantis is like an underwater bubble city, so that they swim down there, but once they're in Atlantis, it's just kind of like a regular city. But they didn't. They had the underwater effect where the hair kind of moved around, but not in a distracting way. They could swim, and they sort of worked out the physics of how you would move and do things differently underwater. I was very impressed. I was very, very impressed. Oh, we got a guest.
Hello.
Hello. Our first caller, everyone.
This is an enjoyment.
Ooh, man, let me turn down your volume. It's bursting my ears. Where is it? Control panel. Okay, I'll just turn it down a little bit. How's it going, mate?
It's good.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for being my backup in case my internet goes down again.
It's okay. I've only got 2 hours sleep, but I'll be fine.
Well, it's much appreciated. Okay, so I don't know. How do we do this now? There's 2 of us, I guess. I'll tell you what, since you're asleep, I'll just prattle on and you can just jump in whenever you feel like it. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. So now it did occur to me that with the with Aquaman and the underwater cities, you realize that Aquaman were like, yeah, he's like got the super strength when he comes up to the surface world, because it's like all that weight of water when you're at the bottom of the ocean. Then when you come up on surface world, you can like lift a car. But it occurred to me when first time we saw Atlantis in the movie, I'm like, really any of these people down here could be Aquaman. But they fixed it, didn't they? Because they said only highborns can arrive up on the surface. So I said, that was clever. They got a get out of jail free card now. So they don't have to actually, so they got a way of explaining, no, there's only maybe a couple of people who could come up on the surface and do kind of the Aquaman thing. You got Mira, you got William Dafoe, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I like that. There was a couple of moments where it really sort of surprised me, the movie, where, because I noticed a lot of other reviews are sort of saying, oh yeah, it's a bit cliched, and it is. But there's also a couple of moments where it shifts, and I think one that's sort of a good metaphor for the whole movie is near the beginning of the movie where he's in his oh, my friend's gone. Oh no, there he is, he's back again. Sorry, Nintendo. I thought you disappeared for a minute. It's all right, you're back. So I like the bit where he's in the bar and those bikies come up and they're like, "You're the fish, man." And you think, like, okay, it's just going to be another fight scene. Like, we've kind of seen those things before at DC. And Steady pulls out his big phone case with little girly, like, jewels on it. And he's like, selfie? Yeah. And then Aquaman does.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Aquaman goes through all his...
yeah, he's like
jump
not
in,
into
yeah,
it.
go ahead.
Yeah, it's like not into it. And then steadily through the pictures, you see him, like, get into it.
But that's kind of like a good metaphor for like the DC universe as a whole. It starts out dark and dingy. Then when Zack
Yeah,
Snyder goes, and then it's like out comes the pink phone case, and we're like, hey, we're actually having fun here. This is great. So let me ask you, Nintiga.
yeah.
What did you think of Black Manta? Did you think he was do you think he served a good purpose, or he was just felt kind of slotted in?
I think he was a pretty good sort of like henchman to the main bad guy. I sort of like
Mm,
how he's a sort of henchman, but he's doing things his own way. It's just
mm,
like it's like I'll help you out, but I'm really just after what I want.
yeah. Did
Yeah,
you did you reckon Aquaman was like? How'd you feel about Aquaman letting his dad die?
sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, how'd you feel about Aquaman letting his dad die? I was okay with it
Uh,
actually. I
oh
felt
yeah,
okay by it.
yeah. I think he had a good point. I think he had
Yeah,
a
and
good reason to kill him and just leave
yeah,
him to die.
he did stab that captain for like no reason at all.
Yeah,
But it's I was saying to myself, I was like, because I got really upset about like Batman killing so many people and Superman like killing Zod and then killing Zod again when he's Doomsday. But then Aquaman does it, and I'm kind of like, meh. I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I was just enjoying the movie, so you give it a pass. I mean, could be that. Who knows?
you have that moment where he finds out that Black Manta's actually the dude who's the son of the guy he left to die on the submarine. And he has that moment on the boat where he sort of realizes his
Shame on you.
actions have consequences. Which I
Yeah.
thought was nice.
Well, as I said in Red Letter Media, he only comes to that realization after Black Manta returns and tries to kill him. Before that, he didn't even give him a second thought.
Just like,
He just,
that'll be fine.
yeah, he just went off to the pub with his dad, just had a beer, didn't even think about it. But they did change Black Manta his motivations, because in the comic book he's actually a civil rights leader. Like he wants to take
Oh,
over Atlantis and turn it into an underwater Wakanda for African Americans. So they changed that in the Aquaman movie, because I guess they're like, yeah, in the age of Black Panther, we can't have our civil rights leader being the bad guy.
yeah.
So they just kind of swapped it out. And I noticed, like, because I was wondering if they were going to go with that. When they're taking over the sub at the beginning, I saw like a couple of the other pirates were like, there was like an Asian dude, there was a couple of white dudes. I was like, oh, okay, so they're probably not going in that direction. No, they didn't. Maybe a good idea. You don't need that.
Mm.
And you know what else? Like while Aquaman did let Black Manta's like father die, he didn't kill Black Manta, and he also didn't kill his brother Ocean Master, which is a nice turnaround, because we know in the Marvel movies they kill all the villains except for
Yeah.
Thanos, of course, or
Yeah.
Loki. They kill all of them. So like very rarely can you ever bring them back. But actually, then again, Red Skull came back, so maybe that criticism no longer valid. But in this one, even in the DC universe, been a lot of villain killing. But yeah, Aquaman, he spared two in this. He spared two. And he's like, okay, we can have him again in the future movies. And I like that. You got to keep the villains around. That way you can build up rivalries over a couple of movies. So, like that's what the comics are. You build up rivalry over long histories. Like that's one of the problems. That's one of the reasons why I think Marvel has had problems with villains, because it's hard to have like a villain who really has an impact in just one movie, especially if you're going to kill him at the end. Thanos did. They did build him kinda, sorta, but he was like a Thanos. But anyway, we're talking about Aquaman. But I really loved Aquaman, and I did find it interesting that the other villain, Ocean Master, we know his idea is he wants to take over the surface and stop them from throwing rubbish in the ocean all the
Yeah.
time. And I did think to myself, I was like, well, Mira's got water powers. Could she maybe just use her powers to like clean the garbage out or something? I don't know. She probably could. I don't know. But I think like give me your take on Ocean Master, because I'm not sure whether he was like a multi-layered villain, or whether he was just kind of badly written in some regards. Because I'm like, on the one hand, he's like, I'm the villain, the cliche villain who wants to take over everything, even though all I need to do is just go up to the surface and say, hey guys, this is my territory. Could you stop throwing garbage? And everybody would, because he'd be like, hey, either stop throwing garbage or you can't send ships over water anymore. So, I mean, it would be an easy fix. So on the one hand, he's being cliched villain because he's going overboard like that, overkill. And then on the other hand, though, like you get the feeling like, I got the feeling that there was moments where he seemed reasonable. Like when he found out that William Dafoe Volko, his advisor, has betrayed him, he doesn't kill him. He's just kind of like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, basically
like he seems reasonable. And in those moments, I was like, even when William Dafoe's character is like, Aquaman might be half blood, but he's still 10 times the king you are. I was like, that seems kind of harsh. I'm like, this guy, he seems pretty reasonable. He seems like you could actually reason with him, maybe. So I was like, I'm not sure. Like, what's your take on him? Do you think he was just badly written villain, or do you think like there are what?
Well, I think he's sort of in the middle for me. Like on the one hand, he has like a pretty good motive. Why he's sort of like Loki, where he's clearly just manipulating his stuff from behind, sort of in front and behind the scenes. But then on the other hand, he doesn't do anything to actually like stand out.
Yeah, well, he was actually a bit. I got the Loki vibe as well, but the Loki vibe from the first Thor movie, because like in the first Thor movie with like Thor and Loki, you're like, yeah, Loki doesn't want Thor to be king, and you kind of like Thor actually would be a terrible king in that. That's kind of the point of that movie. But likewise in this with Ocean Master, like in that scene where he's talking to Aquaman before they go into the arena and fight, and he's like, I don't really want to kill you, but you can't run this place. You don't know what the hell you're doing. And I'm like, well, he's got a point. I mean, Aquaman, I don't really think Aquaman is king material yet. Like, so at the end of the movie when he's like, I'm the king, I'm like, you were really just, bro dude hanging out in a bar only a few days ago. It's like, like Ocean Master, he seems qualified. Like he knows what he's doing. So, yeah, I wasn't quite sure how to feel about Ocean Master, but I'm glad he's still alive. And I'm glad that we can see him again. Because I like that actor too. The guy who played Ocean Master. He was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought his helmet was pretty goofy though, but it sort of worked in a sense.
Yeah. That's right. So we've got so now like the state of the DC universe, we've got pretty much two good characters now. We got Wonder Woman and we got Aquaman. Batman and Superman both kind of seem to be in a state of limbo at the moment where we're not too sure exactly what's going on. But we got Batman, we got Superman. Next DC movie to come out is Shazam, which that actually looks like, yeah, me too. That's going to be really good fun. I'm looking forward to that. So it's like DC, we're slowly getting there. They're slowly like Humpty Dumpty putting the pieces back together, giving us a cinematic universe, which I'm so glad about, because that means I do hope Henry Cavill can stick around and they can just sort of bring him back as a good Superman, and we can just slowly like get the universe to where it should have been if they had listened in the beginning. But I guess it means DC's kind of back now. DC's back, so I can actually start making DC movies again. But I think with Shazam now on the horizon, I thought, I could actually see them putting Martian Manhunter in this universe now. That seems possible.
Yeah,
when we've got underwater battles with crabmen and sharks with lasers on their head, I'm like, having a green Martian that shapeshifts. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. So I wonder if they'll do that. I really hope they do.
Just like a sort of like a detective film, but with Martian Manhunter.
Yeah. He's smoking a Sherlock Holmes pipe, just solving crimes. All right, I'll tell you what. Let me show you something here. I'm going to screen share with you guys. Screen share, because Henry Cavill. He had a tribute to Aquaman that he posted on social media. You guys ready? You want to see it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Want to see his
honestly.
incredible. All right. That is pretty awesome. I gotta say, that is pretty awesome. No, I don't know whether the fork is supposed to be a reference to like this is my trident, or
Yeah,
the
that's
fork could be a reference of like, hey, I just ate all of your family, Aquaman. But see, good old Henry Cavill. See, he could be happy Superman. Look, he's got a good sense of humor.
yeah.
And holy cow, that hairy chest is he's really bringing it back. The 70s would be proud, Henry Cavill. Good job. All right, so yeah, so that's like as I said, my review portion of this would kind of be a bit all over the place. So if you guys who I sent the links to, yeah, if you want to jump in anytime, we're going to cruise on through because I saved a couple of news stories, sort of Aquaman related news stories, which I thought would be fun to go through. So let's jump through some of them. Okay. 7 things that Aquaman did well that the DCEU should continue to do in future films. Number 1, great action in enclosed spaces. By that,
Yeah,
I take it they mean.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought they did some fight scenes pretty well in that film. Like the one in the sub where it's sort of very enclosed.
Yeah, you could actually see what was happening. It was like well choreographed. And it's like I think it's a point as well later on, like some of the other action scenes where they're running across the rooftops, they do this thing where they'd zoom out and the camera would swing around. So you got a really clear sense of where everybody is. So like having action scenes where you actually know where everyone is, where you can see the moves, it's happening in lights. It's not in a CGI monster getting punched in a cloud of dust in the middle of the night, as a lot of other movies, even Wonder Woman fell victim to that. So yeah, I reckon that's probably true.
Yeah, I really like that fight scene with Black Manta where it's sort of, you have like Aquaman fighting Black Manta, and then it'll cut to like what's in the background, and it will follow Mira being attacked by some Atlanteans, and then it pans back to Aquaman. I thought that was a very clever, well done fight.
It was pretty awesome. Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, because DC Universe should definitely start doing that. They should make that more sort of the staple of the universe. Because if you're going to have a superhero movies, you got to have cool looking battles. If you want cool looking battles, people need to see what's happening. So yeah, keep it in the daytime and make it visual. Don't go Transformers and do everything close cut. Okay, number 2, solid world building. I don't know if the world building really. Go ahead.
Yes, you have that bit where Willem Dafoe's character was based just like, all right, this is how Atlanta came to be the way it is, and I thought that was pretty decent to be done. It's just like it made it clear, like this is the world. This is how I do it. This is how it works.
I mean, they made it clear, and they're like, there's the 7 kingdoms of the sea, and he's like Ocean Master was conquering one at a time, and they visually differentiated them. Like some of them evolved, some of them devolved. Yeah. They said some of them are fishmen, some are crabs. I don't know if I call it solid world building though, because it's like it just kind of felt like we were popping up in different places. Like, oh, now we're in this underwater cavern in the center of the earth. Now there's a big squid. Now we're fighting crabs, and I was like, why again? So I mean, there's world building. I don't know if I call it solid, but hey, they're at least trying.
Yeah.
Created a sympathetic villain. We kind of covered that already, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll skip that one. Using long takes, we covered that as well.
Yeah.
Comic accurate costumes. Yeah, comic accurate costumes are kind of a double-edged sword. Yeah. Sometimes it's not a good idea to make them comic accurate. Other times it is. So like I was amazed, like when I saw the trailer for Aquaman, that they had the riding of the big seahorse. I did not think they were going to do it, but they pulled it off.
Yeah.
And I was like, if they can pull that off, sure. Like, yeah, Ocean Master's costume here is pretty much exactly like it is in the comic book. What's the next one? Massive battle portrayals. The battle at the end of Aquaman between the various underwater kingdoms is wonderful, and it really shows the scale of how big Atlantis and these other realms actually are. Yeah, that's true. I think they say like the deepest point in the ocean is like if you stacked 7 Mount Everests on top of each other, that's how deep it is. So it's like, yeah, I mean, the vastness of the ocean, if there's anywhere where you're able to have, huge scale battles like this, it should be at the bottom of the ocean. And I also liked that, like you see in the photo on screen now, they got all the crabs on the ground level, but because it's the ocean, there was like, you can fight at multiple levels, like floating above as well. Like it's not just like a land battle and an air battle. Like if you're on the surface world with planes, there was like so many different levels, and it was just this where everyone was just slamming into each other. And it was awesome. It was awesome. I loved it. All right, what's the last one? Creating meaningful moments for side characters.
Yeah.
Did you care about Aquaman's dad being
reunited? I thought he was a nice enough dude.
Yeah, I suppose. Do you reckon he's going to die in the next one? Do you reckon Black Banner's going to knife him?
Nah, I think they'll just keep him alive. Hopefully, I hope so. I hope they keep him alive. That's really they could kill him off actually if he finds out who he is.
Well, I suppose it wouldn't be that hard to find out who Aquaman is. I mean, people just know him in the bar. They're like, "Hey, you're that guy." He's like, "Yeah, I am that guy. I live right over there." So it wouldn't be too hard to find out.
Yeah, this man is the ocean, but he always seems to go to this bar in some little sea town. It means something.
Yeah. But I said it in my review, but I like that Aquaman has both of his parents. Like that's why I like, and you see like the difference in him to someone like Batman, and like that's why it annoyed me when Kevin Costner, Papa Kent, when he died. I was like, come on, Superman's supposed to have both his parents because they have a good relationship, and that affects his character.
And I think he's gone again.
It's like, oh, my mom's away somewhere.
I can't stay, Ken. I can't stay, Clark. My contract only says that I can't be in the rest of this movie. I must go. But yeah, see your point. Bandit's gone silent again. Bandit just shut down. Yes, he did. I think he'll be back in a sec. Oh. What about remake prequels? Anyone else watched the remake? Yes, he is. He seems to have disappeared. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Star Wars remake. Oh, yeah, I remember. I know what you're talking about now. It's a bit lost for a second then. Keep talking. I'll try and keep us entertained. Wait, is he the same actor as Django Fett? I kind of want to check that. Read the chat. I'm reading the chat. Actually, yeah, I think it actually was the same guy who played Django Fett. Thinking about it. They are very similar. Captain America Silver, if he gets back, ask about remake prequels, alright? Yep, I will. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, he is the same actor. Well, what do you know? Small world. He's aged since. Yes, he has. Always the dead dad. It's funny when I didn't know that like certain actors were going to be in this film. Like if I didn't know that Willem Dafoe was going to be in the film. I think I might have known that Dolph Lundgren was going to be in it, but Bandit is one of the force. At the moment, he is. I don't know if you read the comics, but who do you think they could do for like a sequel as to be like the villain? Because I haven't read the Aquaman comics, so I don't really know. Did you like the Pitbull song in Aquaman? I don't know. I'm not sure which song that is. Oh, is he there? Don't know. Oh, I'm just gonna keep going. Captain Planet. Captain Planet. That'd be a weird crossover. Aquaman's rifles get up beauty. Oh, we got a bit of competition there. Nobody reads Aquaman comics. Oh, I can. I'll see if I can message him.
Hello?
Yep, hello. Yeah, I think. You hear me barely. Oh. Boys,
Can anyone hear me? I think I should be live.
I can hear you.
It says I'm live, but nobody seems to be responding. Oh, God, this is so damn annoying. Okay, back from the dead. Holy cow, man. I don't know what the hell is going on today. Look, I'm just gonna message everybody back the link and see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, try that.
What a disaster.
Yeah. I was just trying to spare up.
Because I love doing these streams so much, but my internet just dies almost every single time. I don't know what the problem is. Why is that? I'm just totally techno cursed. Okay, Nintiga. Can you hear me, Nintiga?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I know you're there. I just can't. Nintiga, hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hey there, Bandit.
Great, we got people.
How's it going, man? It seems like you got some troubles there.
Oh, God, man. I don't know.
For a while, it was just we hear you cut in and out, and then we could just hear nothing. So we had him kind of talk for a little while, and then you're just, can you hear me?
Oh, God almighty.
I was going to suggest, if this happens quite often, that's probably very frustrating. But if you like advertise that you're going to host a review on somebody else's channel that no offense, has Wi-Fi that works, then
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Like I do live streams quite often, and I was even on Geeks and Gamers 24-hour 100K charity live stream. So like I've done that quite a bit. So no troubles here so far.
Yeah, totally. All right, that's probably a good idea. That's probably a good idea. Oh, cool. Yeah. We got people coming in. Hello, everyone. Hello. So how you going, Rookie? How you going, Rookie?
I'm doing very good, man. I just took a little hiatus from my channel, but I gained like 70 subs randomly because I was helping Geeks and Gamers out. If you know who they are, they were doing a 100K charity live stream for some people, and it was 1 a.m. My time, and Jeremy was just talking in the chat, just bored after like 12 hours of being on. And I was like, hey, you want me to come on in, man? And he's like, okay, sure. And me and my buddy just helped them out through the night big time. And we're on for a good 17 hours ourselves. And wow, that was that was incredible.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty awesome, dude. So yeah, I like Geeks and Gamers. I watch them.
Yep. Oh yeah, did you see the skit thing that you had the dialogue in?
No, I tried to find it. I watched the stop motion one.
I can email you the link if you want, or I have it open right here too. Hey, look out! Put that down! Ah, I'm dying. Actually, I included that in my
bad
for you because of that. I was like, oh, you know, I had 49 YouTubers to contribute to it, and I was like, I'm glad that you contributed to it too. So that was fun.
Yeah. I feel bad now. I feel like I should have actually like made an effort and actually done some proper lines and asked you, what do you want me to say?
No, that's okay. I assume you're busy, man. You're in Australia, so we're in like completely opposite time zones. I'm in the West Coast, so yeah, it's all good. Who's the other guest with us?
Nintega. He's gone quiet for a bit.
Nintega, that's all right.
Am I here?
How do we actually? Because how do we do that thing where because I got click happy and now it stopped. You know how like when someone talks, it switches to their thing. Because I clicked on the images, now I can't. It's
if you click on the image again where the box is around, that should go away.
There we go. See,
no problem.
See, this is why I need you, dude.
See, I can help you with live streams, bro. It's all good. I've been on quite a few now. It's a little troublesome, but it looked like you had some pretty good skills with it so far. You had some things set up to screen share, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just like the old man in his basement, sort of like shouting up to the young people, like, "What do I do?"
Yeah, by the way, our guest,
lights flashing.
Yeah, our other guest was trying to speak for a little bit. Did you hear him at all, or was he?
No, he sent a message saying, "Can you hear me?" I
heard.
He's not
him.
muted, so
right. I heard him though, which was weird. So,
yeah,
but if you couldn't.
Testing.
I tell you what,
I can hear you, buddy, but Bandit can't hear you.
Oh, that's a shame.
Sorry if I caused that by coming in here. But,
that's all right.
Before you.
Hey, Nintendo, maybe if you because I can hear Rookie Critic, I can't hear you. Maybe if you, I don't know, hang up, call in again. I won't boot you because then you won't be able to call back in again.
That does sometimes work. Yes.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Whoa.
Yeah, so we have another new person came in right as he came out. So how's it going, super guy? Want to test out your audio? You okay? Did you fall? No, just kidding. If you have headphones, if you're on your phone, there's you shouldn't need headphones, so it should be good. But if you're on your computer, it's different.
Nintega's back. How's it going, man?
I'm all right. I'm back again.
Okay, you can hear him. You're good. Yeah, we see you, buddy.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Let me screen share. I'll show you this one other thing I had raring to go.
Sure thing.
Screen share.
I'm going to pull up the chat here myself so I can entertain them if people are figuring this out.
Here we go. Deleted Justice League clip. Here it says, deleted Justice League clip will make Batman fans very happy. Following his DC Extended Universe debut in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice and his cameo in Suicide Squad a few months later, Ben Affleck's Batman returned in late 2017 for Justice League, which saw him saving the world with all the rest of them. Cape Crusader, Okay, here it is. But Batman will be chiefly known as Gotham's protector, and a deleted Justice League scene shows the Cape Crusader taking out a security camera belonging to the city's police department. The scene is literally 1 second of footage. Now, this will be interesting to see. This
change
One
it.
whole second. My God, they did some real work here.
I know, mind blowing. It's. I wonder if I'll get hit with copyright for this. I did get hit with copyright.
No, if it's 1 second, no. If it's like anything longer than 10 seconds, usually yes.
Well, this better be a damn impressive 1 second. All right.
Agree.
Oh, look at that! Oh,
but we won't be able to hear it on our end though.
Yeah, I don't think
this is a bunch of nothing.
Can you see anything?
Yeah, we can see it. We can't hear anything if there's any audio, but it looks like a bunch of nothing from here.
That's all it is. He just throws a batarang, the screen goes off.
He moved his arm and then wow. Impressive journalism here, I guess. So
oh yeah,
on our trusty guys over there.
Yeah, no doubt that makes Batman fans very happy. Apparently, it's like that's just that's.
You might as well show a 40-year-old guy in a cape going, "I'm Batman," and then just be that. Okay, I made them happy.
Hey, if that was a deleted scene from Justice League, that probably would make people very happy.
that could help. Here, I'm going to message the guys that are in our hangout and seeing if they're having any audio trouble, if they need any help, because it looks like they're trying to talk, but we're not hearing anything. You
guys can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Technical Difficulties podcast, where every second something goes wrong.
Brought to you by the Rookie Critic and your host, Bandit Incorporated, and our guests. It's a very entertaining show. What else can go wrong tonight?
My internet will probably drop out again. So, what did you guys think of Aquaman? Who here has seen it, and who here hasn't bothered to see it, or?
I saw it today just to be part of the review, but I'll let these guys talk because I've been talking for a little bit. So you guys go ahead.
I like
Super
how.
Go ahead. So Nintendo, because we heard a bit from you about what's sort of Aquaman. Super Crow, have you seen the movie?
No.
No, not at all. No.
So was that like a grudge? Did you like boycott it because you're like sick of DC, or were you just like meh?
I just haven't seen it yet.
Shame. Aren't you excited?
I have to tell you something.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you please make a Star Wars anthology movie?
I could. I suppose. I mean, people want me to like redo the Force Awakens of The Last Jedi and whatever the next one is next.
Make the sequels great again.
Yes, make the sequels great again. That's what we got to do. So, I mean, I could do an anthology movie. Yeah, it's just I'm still horny because like the Revenge of the Sith one where I got the proper voice actors and that. I was like that took me like a year to make.
If you need any help with that, I know a lot of people in the community that would be willing to help you with that. I'm working on a similar project to your projects like that with trying to redo the Force Awakens, and I'm gonna hopefully have voice actors make some type of visual presentation, have sound effects, and music and stuff, trying to make it interesting and cool and get people in the community to voice it. So I think if you were to do it for the fourth time, you would get it done in half the time at least.
Yeah, maybe. But which so Super Crow, like what kind of anthology movie would you like? Would you want a Darth Vader one or a Boba Fett one or?
I'd like one because at the end of the last one, then there was the one Skywalker trend that went with Darth Talon.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's going to be Rey too, by the way. I just figured I'd make her Rey.
Yeah, good one. That's easy these days. Where can you insert Rey these days? Basically, what characters? Ray Thanos? No.
Well, of course she'd survive the snap with her Mary Sue powers.
She'd go, bitch, I'll snap you. Exactly.
Isn't it weird that in the Star Wars universe, all the non-white people are actually aliens? Like at least that's how it was in the original trilogy until the second movie.
Not Lando.
Not Lando. No, yeah, he came along. Billy Dean, good old Billy Dean. So yeah, because Billy Dean.
I was gonna say, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say because they brought Billy Dean into. Yeah, yeah, let me just adjust the sound a little.
My buddy Black Angus Reviews just joined us. He's one of my buddies in my YouTube community, so it's good to see him over here. We do live streams quite often.
Oh,
he's dealing with his kids probably. Last time there was like a washing machine that kept on buzzing in during the live stream, and we got to hear a lot of insight from his washing machine. But
yeah, I didn't realize my mic would be picking it up because it was behind my back, a good like 6 feet. So yeah, it's good today. No clothes being washed. We're all caught up.
Okay, that's good. How much of the stream have you been watching, Angus? Because it's been a technical difficulties extravaganza.
Oh, God. It's
So
been awful.
yeah,
My will to
I
live
saw-
has just been draining.
We got you.
No,
We'll
it's
save
funny.
you, my friend.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, it's funny because
I've been here for like
I didn't
an
know
hour.
if he would see my I didn't know if he'd see my email, and I get home, my Wi-Fi updates. And it's like, oh, I got sent an invite, so awesome! I just got out of seeing Spider-Man, so I'm pumped to be with Rookie and freaking Bandit Incorporated. Love your Star Wars videos that Rookie turned me on to. So glad to be here. Glad to talk some Aquaman.
Yeah. Well, hey, I saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse too. I really liked it.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was a pretty solid film.
Yeah, my nephew put me onto it. He's like, "Oh, we got to see that." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, it seemed to
But it was
surprise a lot of
really
people.
awesome. Yeah, I loved how with the animation style, it changes to comic book style once he gets bitten by the spider.
Yeah,
really
I thought that
cool.
was a nice touch.
Oh yeah. Oh hey, Bandit, did you tweet out the link to this so we can invite people in? Because there was probably confusion with the other stream and stuff. If not, I'll send out a link for everybody. And
I was just emailing everyone back. I didn't want to tweet out the link because then we could get loads and loads and loads, even more people.
Oh, and
So-
just watching us go back and forth with the difficulties and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
Everybody seems to hear us now. I think I haven't seen any issues in the chat so far.
sure. I've got Grady Child wants to come on. I'll send him a link.
Okie dokie.
Porky Parker from Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse. He was a very kind man.
Yep.
He was. It sounded very creepy the way you said that.
He's a very
Gave me
kind man.
chills.
sir.
He's a very
Very,
kind
very
man.
Very kind.
That's the kind of voice where you're luring children into the van, It's like,
Yeah, or
I'm a very
but hey,
kind man.
we inspired that from. We
I'm just
inspired
teasing you,
from
man.
Batman.
That's actually what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
No, we're not. We're not endorsing it.
I'm
We're not
just teasing
endorsing
you,
it.
man. Yeah, I'm not. I'm just teasing you. I'm not really trying to be an asshole to you. No, do you like? You like? What was the character's name? Porky something or other?
Porky Parker.
Peter Porker.
Peter Porker.
Oh my
That's
God.
the one.
He's
Yeah.
bitten by a radioactive pig.
Peter Porker. That's the one.
He's
Yeah.
bitten by a radioactive pig.
Yep. Hey there, Grady.
1 second.
Yeah, you gotta plug your
There we
headphones
go. That's right. There it is.
in. Good to see you again, my friend. How's it going?
I'm here, and this time, for the first time that I've been to one of these things, I've actually seen the film.
Yep. Same here. That was my mission today too. It's like let's go see it and have something to talk about.
It was pretty good. Bandit, did you know that Aquaman's father is played by Tamara Morrison, the guy who played Jango Fett?
Yeah, and he was the dude in Once Were Warriors. I think that was his breakout role.
Yes. Yeah.
New Zealand film where he beats the crap out of his wife for the whole movie, and then she leaves him in the end. It's a good movie.
They
Well,
want
that
to
was-
promote that these days.
Well, that was pretty. If you promoted it like that, you would be eviscerated and crucified on social media. Your parents
No
would
doubt.
disown you. Your Patreon would get shut down. So would your
Yes, you get it.
pal.
You get it.
You'd become like the Alex Jones of the film industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I would love to see the Alex Jones of the films industry. That'd be great. We'd have a whole movie about gay frogs. It'd be amazing.
Yes.
Have you guys seen
It's tempting to avoid that joke.
Have you guys seen a video of recently of him like wearing a gay frog suit and going on about etrazine or something?
No,
This-
I used to watch some of his stuff when he was on YouTube, but since he got kicked off,
He-
I haven't
he
really
got
been able to
removed.
find him.
Taken to the darkness.
Yeah, he
Where
was
the
sent to
others
the
lie.
digital
The others
gulag. Yeah.
The others lie.
I love Alex Jones not for his political talk, but just because he's so freaking insane. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, well, it surprised me. Everyone's like, in his divorce proceedings, he's like, they're like, he's unstable. Look at his internet stuff. He's like, yeah, I'm playing a role, and everyone's like, oh, I can't believe he said he's playing. It's like, yeah, of course he is. What do you think it is? Like, you think anyone would really act like that? It's like, no, he's trying to entertain as well as red pill everyone.
Yeah. What if he's trying to be serious? Just, yeah, they're turning the frogs gay, and that's a fact, No, he's got to put on his, there's that freaking guy.
That's
more
right.
interesting.
That's right. So, well, I'll tell you what though is hang on, I got a couple of notes left over from Aquaman. Okay, let me ask you, Grady, or anyone here, did you think the action scenes went on for a bit too long?
Not really. I think they went on as long as they needed to be.
Yeah, I think
it's
so
well
too.
paced.
I think they went on very long. They got really boring.
Yeah, some of them did get a little bit boring.
The one at the end was probably my least favorite. That was where the most CGI was in one place. And it was like, okay, we can't really tell what's happening, kind of, and it's just a bunch of explosions and fish going around and around and just quickly moving across the screen. That was my least favorite fight scene, honestly, was the final battle. Everything else was pretty decent, honestly.
I'm not really sure because I didn't see the movie, but that's just kind of what I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, your guess is as good as anyone else's, my friend.
It's better if you actually watch the film.
Yeah, but you don't have to. We can talk about other stuff.
Hey, Grady, we came in on Creed 2. I don't think any of us saw the film. So, we're just like, hey, we just want to come on here and chat with Bandit. So,
well, hey, this is kind of like the spiritual sequel to that because it's got Dolph Lundgren in it. He's there.
Yeah.
He's there in Aquaman. I kind of like that bit with. I kind of like that bit with Dolph Lundgren's character where Oshamaster sets up that obviously staged attack, Alex Jones style, where he sends in the torpedo, and it's obviously staged. And Dolph Lundgren's like, ooh, yeah, you're right. We need to fight the surface dwellers. And I was like, it's just cliche.
And then his daughter later points out that, Father, don't you think it's a bit coincidental that this is happening right when he wants to declare war on the surface world?
Mm-hmm. And Dolph Lundgren is like, yeah, it was staged, but I want to fight the surface world too. So I was like,
I'm bored. What else am I going to do?
Yeah.
Like once he finds out that Aquaman's got the trident, he's just like, well, I guess I'm on his side now.
Yeah.
I'm not fighting against that.
He was such a weird character. You could just talk that guy into anything. He's like, should we fight the surface world? Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Yeah. The guy's got the trident. He's like, oh well, I guess we're not now. He just kind of goes for the flow.
Yeah, this war's getting boring now. No, let's just switch. We're done.
Were any of you guys convinced that Atlanta was dead when they told
Almost, but the fact that they said it repeatedly kind of made me think, nah, she's gonna come back.
That was me. From viewing films my entire life, I've learned to pick up on certain cliches. And they keep saying that character's dead, that character's dead, that character's dead, and you never show their body or their death. They're probably not dead. They're still alive. And I was not surprised when it turns out she was alive and she survived being thrown in the trench.
Mm-hmm. Well, and isn't there a dinosaur place in both Marvel and DC, basically, where they thrive anyway? So that survived. Yeah.
Mm.
Also, people have brought up a similarity to this. Have any of you guys watched the Now Playing podcast?
Not that one, no.
No.
Well, I did, and one of the co-hosts, Arnie, compared this to Ant-Man the Wasp, which also has a love interest from the original Batman film series, Michelle Pfeiffer. And this is Nicole Kidman.
Mm.
Yeah, I would compare as far as like both properties turning one character that used to be seen as really lame to really cool. So they really tried to make you go, Aquaman's not no wussy. He's not a little bitch. No, he is cool. Every time you think he's lame, this ain't your dad's Aquaman.
Like from what
biceps on his biceps.
I never thought Aquaman was lame from anything I've watched him in, really. In fact, in Justice League, he was pretty badass. Like the Justice League animated shows, like
oh yeah, definitely.
And even in Brave and the Bold, where he's voiced by John DiMaggio, he's kind of more campier, but he's still pretty badass there.
Yeah.
He's voiced by Phil Lamar in The Young Justice.
Oh, sweet.
You have kind of a weird voice, Grady.
Hey, what's wrong with that? You know, we all have the.
We're all weirdos on it. Which one of us are all professional?
Speaking of which,
no, that's okay.
Are any of you familiar with the character Calderon?
That sounds familiar. Calderon. Yeah, was that the Black Aquaman?
He's the Aqualad from Young Justice, and he's the Black Manta.
Yeah, I like that one. That's pretty cool.
So maybe he could appear in this universe, like in a sequel, since there would be a lot of dramatic irony from having the son of Black Manta be trained by the man who killed his grandfather.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know, they have a lot of options now. It seems like Wonder Woman and Aquaman are really opening up their possibilities for new stuff. I mean, it didn't feel... It felt like kind of in that same universe, but pretty entertaining, which surprised me. So,
but there were some contradictions. There were some contradictions from what was told to us in Justice League, because in Justice League, apparently Aquaman said that his mother left him on his father's doorstep, which wasn't true, as we see that they were together and she was raising Arthur with Thomas until he was at least 3 years old. He was at least a toddler. He was still in diapers at the time, I noticed, and he didn't leave him, and Aquaman knew that his mother was sacrificed to the trench. So his problem with Atlantis seemed to be that they killed his mother, basically.
Yeah, he's like, they killed my mom. Fuck them. Or excuse my language if we're not allowed to curse on here. But
that's all right. It's all fine.
What's that?
Part of my Australian.
Oh, bloody hell. Why is it every time someone new comes in, my eardrums explode out of my head?
No, because there's an echo. No, there's an echo sometimes when people comes in.
Okay. Welcome, Noah O. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Bandit?
Yeah, really good. I think pretty much probably everyone in the chat is kind of in the call now. Yeah, but it works because the Rookie Critic is here. I got to tell you, Rookie Critic, as soon as you came on, the live stream you're like a good luck charm. You're like the live stream Buddha.
No problem.
Rub your belly for good luck.
Yep, I'll do it for you.
The live stream just works when you're here. Thank you.
Thanks. And I brought some new people in too in the chat. I sent out the link. So we got Caitlin, the Keeper of Jeremy's in the chat, Jed Rider Gaming, some more familiar faces around here. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Plus, is there any problems with the audio?
Look at,
if you couldn't tell, Jessica Alba is bomb, and I don't even know who that chick is, but my wall was blank, so I was like, oh, I'll buy some posters to fill it up, and my sister bought me swords and knives. But
yeah, I was actually referring to the Imperial Walkers on the other side. They're so hot.
There's that too. Hot, man. I like my face. Definitely.
Speaking of Jessica Alba, did you guys know that Peyton Reed was originally supposed to direct Fantastic Four 2005, the director of Ant-Man?
I did not know
that.
Yeah, and he was rejected by Tom Rothman. Do any of you any of you guys ever heard of Tom Rothman?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Not
really ringing a bell.
Oh, I'll explain you the story of him, Bandit. Well, you see, he's a former Fox executive, and he's the reason Bryan Singer left the X-Men series to go do Superman Returns, and he's the reason that Baraka Pool exists.
Really?
Yeah, here's the story. Basically, he never liked X-Men. He basically sabotaged the first movie. He cut the budget and moved at the release schedule to try and write it off, but then it didn't happen, and it was successful, and then the sequel was successul. And he basically
that's kind of funny because that's what I basically did.
And then he basically dragged Bryan Singer along until Bryan Singer just said, "I can't wait this much longer." So he went to do Superman Returns, and then they broke up. It was so bad. Apparently, Bryan got thrown off the lot by security guards, but then they had to let him back on to let him direct House for the studio. And
so, are you saying that this guy's kind of the reason that Superman Returns massacred Superman, but also why Bryan Singer continued to massacre the X-Men?
No, it's why he left the X-Men series initially.
Oh, okay.
And basically,
that was a good thing. That was a good thing when he left, because then Matthew Vaughn came in and made X-Men First Class, which was way better than anything.
Well,
Right.
initially
It wasn't necessarily a good thing because Brett Ratner came in and made it.
Because we got X-Men: The Last Stand, which Rothman
that's
put out
true.
in 9 months. Like, he started putting together a treatment for it in February 2005, a good year before it was supposed to come out. And and he also micromanaged X-Men Origins Wolverine, and apparently he clashed with the director Gavin Hood, who wanted the film to be like this.
Sorry to interrupt. Supercar, not sure if you're aware or not, but your camera keeps coming on and off. Not sure if you're intending that or not. But you're doing a face reveal without knowing it. So that's cool if that's what you want, but just let me know.
But anyway, him and Gavin Hood wanted the film to be like somber and brooding, while Rothman wanted it to be a child-friendly fare with lots of money shots. And basically, and apparently while the director was away, he repainted a set, and it got so bad that apparently it's rumored Gavin Hood left the film, and it was finished by an unnamed ghost director, and that was the husband of Laura Schuer Donner, Richard Donner, the original director of Superman.
Wow.
Donner is a reindeer.
He's not.
He is. No, Donner's a reindeer.
Is Richard Donner dead?
I think he might be.
I think he's still alive.
Donna
Let me
Blitzen,
Google it.
I didn't know that. I'm not familiar with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's tale.
Well,
but
you should, Grady.
Yeah, so
Start learning, boy.
So Tom Rothman did Deadpool. He thought he was annoying, so he ordered his mouth to be sewn shut, and that's why he ended up the way he was in that movie. And after X-Men Origins Wolverine, Laura Schumer Donner, who didn't really like how Deadpool was portrayed and we all know that Deadpool was in development hell till 2016, but basically she told the writers, I guess, say just ignore X-Men Origins Wolverine, just do the character right, and they did, but Tom Rothman kept dragging them along until he was finally kicked off. He finally left Fox in 2012 after a series of failures. Like, initially, Seth MacFarlane's Ted was supposed to go through Fox, but he rejected the film. Prometheus ended up underperforming, and so Tom Rothman left and ended up going to Sony.
Is he responsible for Prometheus as well?
No, I don't know. But one of the last thing he did before he left, he greenlit Fant Four Stick and
God,
not Trank.
This guy's like the producer equivalent of the Grim Reaper. he's just leaving this trail of destruction behind him.
If you want to know about him, look at Midnight's Edge video, Trankgate Part 4, and it really tells.
Those guys are good.
And I don't want
Midnight's Edge is really fantastic.
Else, but yeah, and also Tom Rothman worked on Ghostbusters 2016.
Wow.
Yikes.
Well, I guess it's like Kevin Smith says, in Hollywood you just kind of fail upwards.
Like, works at
that's why Kathleen Kennedy got promoted after The Last Jedi instead of failing.
It just keeps on going up and up. The worse failures, the higher it goes.
That's right. And as Geeks and Gamers has pointed out, I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to fire Kathleen Kennedy at the height of the Me Too movement after you've made so much of a big deal about...
You fired the women?
Of course.
Nope.
Right.
So they just quietly put her in an office and just sit there and have nothing to do with the movie. But yeah, who knows what's going to happen with Star Wars.
You can stay on board, but yep. Angus, what about you, man?
Regarding what, I'm kind of jumping in the back.
I don't know if you're trying to chime in a few times or not.
Oh, well, I was just agreeing with Bandit. I said this the other day with Abu Nas. You remember my whole thing. I think I did a quick little video about this where I'm like, I think the Brett Kavanaugh fiasco in America with the Believe All Women and then the Me Too on top of it being in effect for like a year is what preserved her, because I think they really were going to fire her, because even Grace Randolph, who I don't think would ever involve herself directly with the fandom menace at all, was reporting like, I think she's going to get fired, and here's why, and here's who they might replace her with. And so I was like, wow, if she's saying this, there's some legitimacy to this, because she has some connections to Hollywood from what she talks in her videos. So it was crazy that they didn't fire her, and I think it was directly because of the culture in America at the time.
Well, I think I I do kind of like that the phrase "getting Cavinard" seems to be sort of working its way into the culture. Like my next door neighbor, he got Cavinard, and he's Indian. Like he's Indian. Wow, God, great! What are you doing?
Stop scaring the bandit kitty. Stop scaring the kitty.
Yeah. But my next door neighbor, he got Cavinard. He's Indian. And that was an arranged marriage. And it's like, those arranged marriages, they never fail. But he got Cavinard in that. And it's
wow.
Oh, come on. Poor guy.
I don't get what you guys are talking about.
Political stuff, man. All the fun stuff on Aquaman video. The most fun part of.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm waiting for some Aquaman talk. I definitely hear Rookie's perspective since he just saw it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. I've said pretty much everything I have to say about Aquaman. Has anyone else got anything they want to say?
Can I say something?
Yeah,
Sure.
go ahead.
Go for it.
Okay, I have to go to sleep now because I have baseball practice tomorrow. But Bandit, if you make the anthology movie by November 2019, I'll send you $10.
Ooh.
You gotta keep up to that, man. That's Bandit. That's incentive. That's
Yeah, that is. I appreciate that. Man.
You'd be making $300 million and $10 more than Solo.
Hey, every little bit helps. I love money. So yeah, look, man. So to answer your question, Supercrow, will I do an anthology movie? I was thinking if I am going to go back into the Star Wars things, people would probably want me to do the main trilogy first before they'd like me to do an anthology. Maybe I could make like an anthology movie that doesn't need to be like an hour and a half long. It could be like
you do a quick half-hour one.
Yeah, like or
minutes,
a 15-minute just shotgun story kind of thing. Maybe I could do something like that. Would you be happy with that, Supercrow?
That'd be okay.
He's like, $5 then. No.
All right. You don't get $10,
well, thanks.
Then you get $5.
Thanks, Supercrow. I do feel kind of bad. I felt like I was picking on you a bit during the live stream, but I wasn't meaning to. It was just nice, just teasing, friendly teasing. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Goodbye.
Have a good one, man. Good night.
Thanks for calling, mate. Catch you later.
Ben, I'm sorry about the whole shock thing. Is my computer was starting to slow down, so I had to put it to sleep for a minute and then bring it back up. That happens like sometimes it overheats. It just like slows down.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, if there's anyone who understands technical difficulties, it's me.
Yes, you are now deemed the king of technical difficulties, man.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yep. Round of applause for that.
It's so embarrassing. I'm sorry.
But hey, you came back up on top, and now we got a nice, entertaining stream going. So worked out in the end.
That's right. Well, it's all thanks to the rookie critic, Mr. Good Luck Genie in the bottle. That saves.
I'm helping out Geeks and Gamers, helping out BanditIncorporated. Who else can I help out next week? No, just kidding.
So
I'm having fun.
So you've been on a couple of streams with the Geeks and Gamers guys.
Yep.
Yeah. What do they like, those guys?
What was that again?
Dirt. Give us.
Well,
what do they like, those
well,
Geeks and Gamers?
Jeremy is this most vile piece of white misogynistic. No, just kidding. He's an awesome dude.
There we go.
He's an awesome dude who. He just reached 100K. If anybody doesn't know, Geeks and Gamers, they just reached 100K subscribers, and that was right before the end of the year. I think they're at 103 or 104K right now. And what he decides to do is do a 24-hour straight live stream for a charity. So any money that he'd get from super chats or from donations and whatever from the moderators that would post the links in the chat, he would just try to help them out with that. And no, he's a really good dude. He does great Star Wars content. He really knows how to have a conversation. He's not afraid to dig into you a little bit to see how you can take it and have fun with you when you can strike back. And it's really good in conversation. Really knows how to get people to the floor and make them feel comfortable. So that was a really fun stream. And I was on that. I was just gonna go on for like 2 or 3 hours to help him out in the middle of the night. But he was like, "Dude, you guys helped me out for like 6 hours, so you can stay on till the end." So 17 hours ended up being that that day. So. That was pretty fun, but yeah, he's great. Geeks and Gamers are pretty cool.
That's right. Look, so people in the chat were like, "Are we going to cycle in some more guests?" And I was like, "What the hell? I'm just going to send out the link to everybody."
Just know that it'll be a lot harder to handle the panel, and people will talk over each other quite a bit. So I'll try my best to calm down too. But I'm used to hosting live stream, so I'll try to not be the host for you. I'll try to be guest mode. That's
all right. I don't mind. You can be the host if you want. Because
I want to give people attention. I noticed that Nintega he's been having like a loading screen come up on his panel a lot. I don't know if that's part of his avatar or if he's
it's a GIF.
Through.
It's like the shield spinning.
Okay, good. I haven't heard your icon move in a while, so I don't know if you're trying to chime in anytime soon or anything, or if you're having technical difficulties.
Sure.
I could just never find a good time to jump in.
Okay.
There we go. We got some more.
Yep. Welcome, Tooligan.
Tooligan. How's it
going?
How
are you doing? Doing good, thanks. Yeah, I've actually been trying to join for like the last I don't know how long since you started streaming actually.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Bandit,
I get
you know
distracted, and I should be following the chat much more.
Yeah, I always have the chat up on my phone, so I can always have the screen on and glance every now and then to what's going on in the chat. So I don't know if that helps.
Oh, that's good thinking. Yeah, man, you are the stream wizard. You're the stream Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Stream Ocean Master.
Happy to help you. I'm the Ocean Master. Yes. If only I could be as buff as that, rip my shirt off, and yeah, there we go. But no.
Yeah. So Tuglian, what do you think of Aquaman?
I thought it was actually pretty good. I was surprised. It wasn't like an amazing movie, like how some people are saying, but it was just pretty solid. It was really enjoyable. I think that they finally pulled off Aquaman looking like really good with the costume and everything, like his armor, the chainmail. I thought Patrick Wilson as Orm had a really good performance, and it's like he wasn't as good as like Michael Shannon as Zod, but he was like definitely he was definitely really good.
Find him.
Yeah, overall, it was just a fun movie. I don't know, it wasn't like any really deep themes about it. I wouldn't even say it's like the best superhero movie of the year, but I would say that it's definitely an enjoyable watch. I'd be happy to watch it again.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had to shove in a bit of the environmental stuff, but you know what? I'm sick of hearing about the environment. Sick of it.
That was so background. That was just an insight for them to go to war.
Yeah, I'm sick of going to movies and they're like, humanity is a plague on the planet. Oh no, humans are so evil. I'm like, you know what, dude? There's lots of animals that have gone extinct long before humans. Okay, we just do a little bit. You know, animals die all the time.
You're right.
Sprinkle of violence.
I bet you're excited for the Avatar sequels then.
On this planet long
whenever they get here, yeah. The Avatar sequels.
Nope. Hey, Sleepy Man is back.
I remember
Mr. Crow. You're back, mate.
Hey.
Yeah, he's like, okay, Bert, I'm gone.
Hey, you know, I'm actually going to have to start booting some people because there's way too many now. There we go. Super Crow's gone.
See, I was going to say, I think.
Sorry.
So Bandit, here's some advice from me. I've had like panels where there's like 7 or 8 people on, and that can be fun when it's just your buddies and it's just like a regular one. But for a guest like this for review, I just recommend 4 guests tops, because then you can kind of take turns every now and then, or you know, there's less people to talk over each other and go through and whatnot. Just for future, be more smooth.
Well,
I guess.
That was my original plan. Is I thought I'll just cycle in like 2-3 people at a time, because last time we got chatting with the guys as I was like ejecting people more one-on-one, and it was really interesting. I was like, that's interesting. I like talking one-on-one with these guys and getting to know them. So that was originally the plan, but as we know, everything's gone to hell.
But you try it. It's trial and error, so that's okay.
Wow.
That's right.
So I actually want to ask a question. Last time at the Creed chat, we talked a little bit about the Bumblebee movie, and I saw that. Did anybody else see that movie?
I haven't.
I haven't seen it yet.
I have.
Scenes of it online, like the opening for Cybertron. And John Bailey actually voiced Shockwave. I learned that. The Honest Trailer guy. He voiced
Really?
Shockwave.
Oh, really?
The Honest Trailer guy, really?
Huh.
Nice.
And I
He
also
did a great
recently
voice.
saw this fan film for like a gritty Powerpuff Girls reboot where he voices the narrator, Mojo Jojo, and the mayor. And with Mojo Jojo and the Mayor, I was actually convinced that maybe they got Roger, the actor who played Mojo, and Tom Kenny to voice them. But though with the narrator, it was pretty obvious.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
does have
Grady.
a recognizable voice.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Grady, you've got this bizarre Wikipedia-style memory of all these facts and figures. Like, we could just throw out a name and you'd be like, oh, they voiced a character in this episode of a TV show that was cancelled this year. And it's like, wow,
And he just so happened to be something with his wife, and that was in the news, and that was in the camp, and that was in history. The Indiana Jones info, man.
Yeah, it's the weaponized autism. I'm kind of jealous, actually. That's awesome.
Weaponized autism. That's brilliant.
But Tuglian, let me ask you the
Shia LaBeouf's flag and drove him insane with 4chan.
Is he still doing Capture the Flag? I was enjoying that when it was going on.
Did you see that arrest video from Georgia where he threatened to shoot a police officer?
Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah.
No.
He sounds like he'd be holding his fingers out, going, "I'll shoot you! I swear! I swear!"
Oh my God! I'd blow your head off. While he was getting arrested, it was all caught in a body cam.
Yeah.
Body cams are the greatest invention for police ever.
Oh, dude.
It's America's funniest home video.
It's entertainment.
Grady, I got to tell you, there's a YouTube channel called Police Activity where they have the body cam footage of all these police, and you see so many people get shot. I had no idea how many people get shot until I subscribed to this channel. I'm like, how is this even on YouTube? I don't know, but you get to see there was one where there was this guy who was like drugged out on some drugs, and he had like super strength, and he was like in a bank, and they're like tasing him over and over, and he's just like, I'm LeBron James. Yeah, and they just can't pin it down. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's awesome.
You know, the world can be scary, but it can also be very funny.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's very deep.
The balance. 'Tis the balance.
But anyway, Tuglian, yes, we were talking. Tuglian, we're talking about Bumblebee, and we got distracted. So.
Yeah.
So is Bumblebee, is that like a continuation of the other Transformers movies, or is it like a standalone pocket universe thing?
It's supposed to be a prequel.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, set in 1987. Like Sector 7 from the first film.
Grady, let Tuglian speak, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tuglian again.
Okay, sorry about that, but that was actually kind of funny. Yeah, it's really unclear whether or not there's some elements that they bring over from the Michael Bay films, but then there's other elements that they just completely take from G1 and they just like start over. So I think they're kind of, the studio like wanted them to like play it safe, and like you have to put some stuff in from Michael Bay so that it's like if things go like really well and the fans want them to somehow continue the Michael Bay films, they can. But if this goes really well and they want it to go in a different direction, they can. So that's what I think. That's what I think it is. I hope they just reboot it and just go in a completely separate direction, because I think the film was just a really good Transformers film. Just something that's different and wholesome and good, and isn't laced with a whole bunch of like really crappy, bad, subjective stuff. But
sorry, Grady, I just muted you because your microphone was like rubbing on your clothing. It was like
something was going on there.
I was like, I don't know what's going on. So sorry about that, Grady.
I don't know what's going on. My computer's a MacBook Pro, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm always suspicious when I can hear like rubbing and heavy breathing and I can't see the person. I'm like,
good idea, Bandit. Good idea.
The Aquaman
right next to you right now, Bandit.
This is like Grady ASMR. We're right
here.
Yeah,
I was about to say the Aquaman live review, not the ASMR man.
This is BanditIncorporated. We're coming to you live and talking about technical difficulties here. Can you handle it? Can you handle it? We're gonna just chill tonight. That is okay. Geeks and Gamers Jeremy did this for a good while to calm down his throat. It was freaking hilarious because he did a good one, the ASMR. But yeah. Go ahead.
Is that still a thing, ASMR? That it was really big for a while.
It is.
I'm sure it's still a thing.
I don't know if the 1,000-degree knife, that was a thing for a while. I don't think that's on anymore.
No, that was like a while ago. That was like a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, too, Glenn, let me ask. So Bumblebee, does it have the seizure-inducing action scenes that we know from Transformers, or did they swap it out?
I think it's actually really clear. Like, there's, to an extent, you can kind of see some of the different fighting styles of the robots. Like, I mean, is it okay if this is a Transformers movie? Is it okay if there's spoilers? I don't know if people care about that.
Nobody cares.
Okay, all right.
So you can go ahead.
Let's pull the chat. Let us know in the chat if you want us to go full spoilers or not. But see, now that I've said that, now we have to wait.
Right.
Damn it!
Well, hold on. I was about to say, so I'm probably about to actually head out in a little bit. My buddies wants to hang out, so I'm probably gonna ditch out in a minute. But I wanted to give my thoughts on Aquaman before I go, real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah, please do. And then we'll jump back to Bumblebee after you go. Yes.
No problem. Yeah, so I'll only give a few things that I heard that I didn't hear about from other people yet. I thought that Mira, the redhead chick, rivals Gadot in badassitude sexiness. Just by the way, some of her shots, some of the shots she's in is pretty darn good. Pretty good, but that's the one thing. I know some people might not agree with that.
We're going to see her up on the wall next time. There's going to be
maybe. But the effects. A lot of people might say the effects were okay, but not great. I give it a little bit more credit just because it's mostly supposed to be underwater, and a lot of things underwater can look really crappy when you have all these action scenes and stuff. But I thought they made it look pretty decent considering most of the movie is underwater. So I think they did okay with that. I think some of the stuff they did in the beginning was all right. I didn't really prefer Jason Momoa narrating. That was kind of weird. He's more of a in-camera kind of guy. Just hearing his voice is kind of weird, in my opinion. When his mom said, or when the queen said, they don't really, when she was crying before she left, she was like, the tears always dry away. The ocean dries away our tears. I thought that was a little, for DC, that was a little emotional, a little bit, because down there they can just feel a little sad but not really be able to see the emotions, and on the surface it's more impactful, I would suppose. It's like more impressionable on them, so I give a little credit on that. As far as the fighting goes, the length, the pacing, I thought it was all okay. I know everybody probably recognizes that there's an explosion every single time there's a dramatic moment.
Yeah,
like
I noticed that.
Yeah. Boom,
like
boom,
half
boom,
the
boom.
action scenes always begin with like someone getting blown up in the face.
They're like about to kiss, or
it happens
or
like 5 times.
A moment. Yeah, I kind of like that just because I know it's a joke and that's just kind of funny. It worked for some reason. I'm like, there's enough sappiness, enough non-fighting. Let's just blow up and just have the fighting start in the middle of the moment. I don't care. That's fine. Why not?
You know what it is? It's Aquaman's version of a Spidey sense.
Exactly. That's his Spidey
Things
sense.
just explode around
We're about to get intimate. Oh, shoot. Yeah. And I thought, Black Manta, I thought that was okay. Him not saving Black Manta's dad, I mean, I don't know. It seemed like he's like, I don't really give a shit. I was like, hey, I let you live. I didn't kill you. But then, you tried to shoot me and then you got yourself killed. So that's your own fault. And then when he addresses it later, it didn't seem like he was really thinking about it. She was just like, who was that? I kind of fucked up this guy a little bit earlier. And I feel a little bad about it. But anyway, let's just go on with our mission now. And we're fine. So that wasn't bad. With Aquaman and his power, I thought they did good with the trident. They kind of made it clear, in my mind anyway, that the trident doesn't just make him super powerful, but it kind of enhances his unique ability. Like, he's like, not everyone can just communicate to the other fish like he can. So like when he had the trident and he's like able to communicate to all of them mass across the ocean, I thought that was a good thing, because that makes me think, if, let's say, Mira were to hold it, that her water controlling abilities would be on a massive level, maybe. I mean, I could be reading into that a little differently than other people, but that's just a quick one, because I'm about to go in a sec. I'll do a more in-depth review on my own channel at some point. So
that's pretty good. You just did a live review there. It's way better than my ones.
Yeah, no problem.
I have notes and stuff in my iPad. You just went off the cuff. Good job.
Yeah, I haven't done notes yet. I want to rewatch it, honestly, because there's a lot to take in that movie, in a way, in my opinion. But yeah, if you ever need me again or you want to talk or anything, that's cool. You have my email on there. If you need help on a live stream, if you're having difficulties, give me a call or a voice Google Hangouts call or whatever, and I'll help you out.
I totally appreciate that, man. You totally saved the stream. You're our good luck charm. See, now that you're gone, probably the stream's going to drop out again. We'll just see.
I do have good internet quality. That could be holding your stream together. I hope it goes well though. Yeah. But my Marine buddy that I haven't seen in a while is in town right now and wants to hang out. So gonna go do that. Okay, get a few drinks. So yeah. So see you later. You do have my friend Black Angus with you guys. He's nice and entertaining. So have a good one.
Okay. Thanks a lot, mate. Catch you later.
See you, Rookie.
Whew. Okay. So Tuglian, yes. We can go back to Bumblebee now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really liked Bumblebee because, it was just a good film. Like, it wasn't great, but it was okay. It's great in comparison to the other Transformers movies. But I think overall, what just makes it good is that the director, I think his name is Travis Knight. Yeah. He really just made like an 80s movie. Like, there's a lot of the kid gets picked on in the school, there's a lot of the kids tease. Like, it takes place in the 80s, but it's also, excuse me if I sound like I have a lisp. While the other guy was talking, I'm eating a Starburst, so I have to finish that. But yeah, it kind of has a lot of the tropes of an 80s movie. And it's a very kind of predictable story where like Bumblebee loses his memory after a fight with one of the Transformers. Yeah.
Does he talk in it?
In the beginning, but Blitzkrieg was in the trailer, the one that looks like Starscream, which is Blitzkrieg in this movie.
Blitzwing.
Blitzwing. I'm sorry. How did I mess that up?
Hang on. So I mean, in the trailers, he seems to do the radio thing again. Does he still do that?
I'm getting to that actually. Yeah. So in the fight, Blitzwing. I'm sorry. Blitzwing.
Your name is Blitzwing.
Yeah, that's.
He got it.
Great. He's like, Blitzwing, get it right.
I think a reference to another incarnation of Blitzwing, where he's like this triple changer, and he's got this multiple personality where, whenever he's angry,
Transformers
silly
animated,
or
right?
serious, his face changes.
Mm-hmm. It's Transformers animated, right?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, he tears Bumblebee's voice box out, so he talks from the radio for the rest of the movie. Like, he has to learn to talk from the radio.
Because they in the first Transformers with Shia LaBeouf, they're constantly like, "Oh, the voice box is broken. He has to talk through the radio." But then they fix it by the end of the movie, and he goes, "I wish to stay with the boy." And then they just completely forget about it in all the other movies, and they go back to the radio again. So, so they have a mixture, sort of, in this.
Yeah, he starts talking again in the last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not go into the last night. That movie has continuity errors in and of itself. But
I think I've blacked it out of my memory.
Yeah. But there's something that this is a very hollow reason to like this movie so much. But just the reason that there's so much love for the G1 characters. Like in the Bay movies, it's really based on just, if you weren't told who was who, it would be very hard just to know which characters are which. But from the first Cybertron scene, you immediately can tell okay, you can see that's RC, I can see that's Shockwave, I can see that's Hound, that's Wheeljack. You can see all of the different characters. And they're so easy to tell. And it's so done with such a great design that's like the G1 designs that it makes you want to see more of that. And then the rest of the movie is nice too. John Cena, I thought he was okay. He had a couple really funny lines that I thought, which if I said it would be out of context, so it wouldn't actually be funny. But I thought that was good. And overall, it was something that I really liked that's really underrated in this movie is how wholesome it is. Like in the other movies, I don't think there was a single female that was under the age of 30 that wasn't objectified
in like a really like disgusting way. But like in this one, the main protagonist, I think her name is Charlie. She's just a normal person. Like she's not a saint or anything, or they're not making her out to be this great person that's better than everybody and anything. But she's just a normal person, and that was really nice to see. There's this guy that like is her neighbor that like really likes her and like wants to go on a date with her. And at the end of the movie, like she doesn't like fall head over heels for him or anything, but they kind of have like a friendship, or maybe at some point down the line there's a relationship. But like it was just something that she was a person that you could see being a wallflower in high school or something like that. And it was just refreshing that not every female is like Megan Fox with disgusting car shots.
Bending over a motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah, so
the kind of pose that you would see in the background of the rookie critics room. Yeah, that kind of
Leave Megan alone.
We love you, rookie critics. We love you.
Yeah,
dude. Everyone asked him about his posters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, I remember doing that too, but that was when I was going through puberty. You know. But hey, you know, we all admire the view, so that's good. But all right, so we got a new caller, Diego Gonzalez. How's it going, Diego?
Good.
Long time no speak. How you been going, mate?
Good.
Is this the same guy as the other? Is this the other guy?
Oh, you mean yeah. No, but Diego, is this the first time we've actually spoke? Because I recognize your name from the Movie Mania podcast quite a lot.
Yeah, I've been watching the podcast for a really long time.
Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it.
We all love the podcast, Bandit. We all love it.
Woo! I saw Trey in the chat. He's probably gone to bed now. So
yeah, I saw him earlier.
Yeah, I just wish I had better internet because I'd love to do Movie Mania as a live stream all the time. But that's why I thought I'll kind of test it with the live reviews and all that. But anyway, let me ask you guys. I'm going to screen share because I thought I'll throw this up there. It'll be sort of a topic that we can sort of round out everything we were talking about. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I got all my tabs open. All right, here. It's got all the comic book movies being released in 2019. I'll just roll through them and you guys let me know what you think.
Okay.
Let me first select it on me so the thing stays up. Okay, Captain Marvel release date March 8. Who's psyched for that?
I'm excited, but for everyone except Captain Marvel in that movie. Jude Law, Samuel L. Jackson, Agent Coulson coming back, Ronan, like literally everyone in that movie except Brie Larson as Captain Marvel.
I don't really care to see this.
Wait, Ronan from Guardians 1 is going to be in it?
Yeah, Ronan's going to be in it because he's a member of the Kree army, but in Guardians of the Galaxy, he defected. So in this one, he's actually like a part of the Kree, like their actual organization.
Oh, okay.
That's right. I saw that on the Mr. Sunday Movies video where he basically like figured out the twist of the movie. It's like, oh man, sometimes it sucks to be on the internet. You find all this stuff out.
Yeah.
All right, next one we got Shazam. I am so looking forward to Shazam.
Yeah.
I remember someone was saying that you mentioned John Cena in Bumblebee. John Cena would be a good Shazam, don't you reckon? Because the idea of Shazam is the kid, he idolizes Superman. So when he transforms into a superhero, that's why he's like Superman-esque, kind of looking, the Shazam thing. So, but I don't know. He's one of them characters that very few people really know anything about. Like, have you guys heard of Shazam before?
I've heard. I like calling him Captain Marvel, but something that I liked a lot more than. No offense, I don't want this to sound bad, but something I like. What I hope they bring into it more than just he idolizes Superman was Captain Marvel's Captain Marvel form was supposed to look like Billy Batson grown up, but the reason why what he like actually looks like is what Billy thinks that his dad looks like because he's like an orphan, he's like nobody. So I thought that would be like that's something like really sweet and like sentimental that I hope they bring into it, and not just that he thinks it's a grown up guy that what he wants to look like Superman or something like that.
I might see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Going to be the bad guy in that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Savannah, played by Mark Strong, which that could work. But I think movie. Well, I keep calling him Captain Marvel, but you'll have to excuse me for that. I think Shazam's a terrible name. But I don't know.
It is pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Mr. Mxyzptlk, but he can't.
Back to Billy Batson.
Yeah, he's like Mr. Mxyzptlk, but he can't. It's worse because he can't like Mr. Mxyzptlk. Anyway, I think the movie will be okay. I think probably worse than Aquaman. It doesn't look like Aquaman looked stylistic, and I mean, like Zack Snyder did a lot of like bad things in his as far as like writing and plot going. But something that like he really kind of carried DC on, and something that they've just done leagues better than Marvel is making the movies look stylistic and different and have a distinctive look. Whereas Shazam just looks very like basic and bland, and I don't see, at least from what they've shown, I don't see there being anything amazing about the movie. It just looks kind of just regular and average.
Yeah, and it seems like a strange choice to go for. I mean, but mind you, it's DC. They make a lot of strange choices. It's a strange choice to do a standalone Joker movie that isn't connected to anything, but
right. DC is just throwing darts at the board blind.
Yeah, they are.
But they have the best. They have the best comics. So I mean, if they really don't know what to do, rather than try to make their own like universe, why not just take a comic and make it just a movie in and of itself? Like just make a Kingdom Come movie, and that isn't connected to anything, or make a Tower of Babel movie. Or like just make a Dark Knight Returns movie, or make a Red Sun movie. They could just make movies like that. Yeah, just do that, and it wouldn't have to do anything, and bring George Miller back as a director, because that would be great. Justice League Mortal probably would have been way better than the Justice League we got, but
and don't bring Zack Snyder back.
No.
Well, you see, I think Zack Snyder has some merit. Like he's not a very good plot creator, and he's not a very good writer at all, but like his sense
he's a good visual director.
Exactly. And I think I would love to see a movie.
Snyder, honestly.
I would love to see a movie with Zack Snyder and George Miller combining together and making like a movie set in the universe of the Nightmare Vision. Like that story I think would be something very interesting. So it would be like really kind of like Mad Max, and have George Miller like kind of have major oversight, but Zack Snyder is more of the visual director, and maybe he provides some of the visual keys and maybe works with the cinematographer more than George does. But I think that movie would be experimental and different, but something really cool, and Zack clearly would want to do that because he invented that whole universe. I think it would be cool, and it would be a lot like JLA Rock of Ages.
Yeah, I mean, I'd see it. I'd totally see it. Well, let me scroll down to the next one. Hellboy?
I hear
I'm not excited for this.
I hear that Ron Perlman is completely indifferent to this remake.
Ugh. Hang on, let me read the thing, because this is the first I've heard of it. Guillermo del Toro's efforts to get Hellboy 3 off the ground fell through, but we're not done with the big red on film yet. For the reboot, Stranger Things star David Harbour is donning the red makeup, shortening the horns, and right hand of doom for the reboot. Just like in the comics in the first two movies, this version of Hellboy is an agent for the Bureau of Paranormal Investigation. Blah 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 blah. So it's just a remake. Nah, I still have yet to see the other Hellboy.
You never seen Hellboys?
No.
Oh, wow,
I never saw it.
Are you familiar with Ron Perlman as an actor?
Oh yeah, he's great.
I love him. He voiced the Lich in
He's so
Adventure
good.
Time.
Yeah, like I don't mean to sound so close-minded about this movie, but like if Guillermo del Toro and Ron Perlman aren't attached, then I really don't care.
Yeah,
like
and look,
Hellboy 2 was so good. I just want to see a Hellboy 3 from del Toro, but that's never going to happen.
I'm going to have to put the Hellboy stuff on my Netflix watch list. I got to watch these. And look, release date April 12. First time I've ever heard of it. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Avengers Endgame. Obviously, we're all excited for that one.
Yes.
Obviously.
Hype.
I think that movie will be good,
Hype.
but I really don't want them to miss an opportunity to like. I wish they had done maybe just a little bit more setup, because in the comic there's this great, like, you haven't really seen the full extent of the Infinity Gauntlet, and none of the Avengers have the ability to really push that boundary. Whereas in the comic, you had like a lot of the cosmic entities that like really made the power of the Infinity Gauntlet known because of how powerful they are. Like if Galactus could show up, they would obviously have had to set him up, which they haven't done. But it just makes me wonder how he could, but it's Marvel hasn't. They love their fans, but they've never just brought somebody in with zero explanation. That they wouldn't bring in Galactus, the Living Tribunal, Eternity. They wouldn't bring in all that stuff with zero setup, and they're not going to set that up because it's looking like a more personal film than Infinity War was. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think it'll be good. And I hope it's more Steve Rogers focused, as Infinity War was more Tony Stark focused.
I think they said that that's
Tony Stark, Guardians, and Thor.
Mm-hmm.
So to be Captain America, Hawkeye. Am I the only one who doesn't care about Hawkeye? Why does everyone make a big deal about Hawkeye?
Nobody cares.
I don't know. I never cared about Hawkeye or Black Widow. It's like I get you're trying to throw in like actual human element into this lineup, but like the character's already very human with just superpowers, so I never got the appeal to either one of them.
But don't you care about his farm? No, I don't. I don't
No.
care about his farm.
Well, Bandit, I don't think you're in the minority on that one. There are a lot of people, at least in the movies, that don't care about Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I don't care about the Hulk anymore. I'll tell you that. They ruined him, I think.
I don't know. They could be setting up for something interesting with his weird thing that like he's got a phobia now of Thanos or whatever that seems like. I don't know. I've heard conflicting interpretations of either Hulk is scared of Thanos because he got his ass kicked, or Thanos used some of his telepathic abilities to sort of wall him off so that Bruce Banner couldn't bring the Hulk out again.
What
Can
the
I tell you
actual
something that the
explanation was
director
that
said, Bandit?
Yep, go ahead.
Apparently, I watched part of the commentary for Avengers Infinity War, and the Russos said that apparently Hulk's done playing the hero for Banner, but I don't know what I think that's what they said, but you'd have to watch the commentary yourself. But the way the movie presents it, it looks like he's just kind of scared of Thanos, like he's the first person to really
Exactly.
I genuinely think that was like they just like made that up after the fact. After
Like
fans,
like
after
Loki
fans
being mind controlled in Avengers.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
Ugh.
I think Loki being the actual villain is much better than like, oh, he's the good guy and he actually didn't want to do it the whole time.
Eesh. Yeah, that sucks. But so the Russo brothers, they said it's Hulk is just kind of done.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Being the hero. I actually kind of like that, to be honest. But have like a whole movie of like in Thor Ragnarok where he had like a long time where he could just
it took a little bit.
Whole he wants and Banner was
Here we go
his
again.
box and kind of I was like, no, I'm so sick of being here. It's like, do you have a good couple of aliens you want?
Bandit, you sound like the guy.
Repeat that?
Bandit sounded like the separatist from Attack of the Clones that like talks and then like half of his speech is
his name is Watt Tambor.
Oh yeah.
Got your disposal count.
Oh god! See my internet. The rookie critic. That's what happens.
Yeah, we gotta get him back in the call.
Can anyone hear me? No.
I can hear you
some
now.
parts we can hear you, but others you sound like a robot.
Oh god.
It's just earlier
You know what?
you're
It's
kind of glitching out.
dying. It's dying. I'm just gonna. We just have to say good night.
All right. Good night.
Alrighty
Bandit.
then.
I want the bedbug fight.
Okay, look. I'll tell you what, I'll just go really quick. through the rest of our stuff. Okay.
Well, he's gone, guys. We're in charge.
We're in control now. We're in control.
It's our show now.
So I am your leader now. Obey me. I'm joking.
All right, so we're gonna do a Lord of the Flies. Who's gonna be the leader?
We need to set up a conch. We need to get a conch. Whoever has the conch.
Hopefully joins back in, because I feel really
All
awkward.
hail the magic conch.
Leader? No.
I like what Andy said in the chat. Question for you all: have you ever drunk water? If so, you're sick. Fish fucking that shit.
I can't taste it.
I purify my water.
Yeah, it's filtered, man.
I
So
think
it's okay.
most people do.
I use the Alex Jones filters for my water.
We're going to chemical this water that's turning the freaking frogs gay.
I actually used one of his clips of that rant in my newest video, so it's so great to see someone quote that. Thank you. Whoever said that in this stream.
Apparently, in the PS4 Spider-Man game, J. Jonah Jameson was apparently, according to the developers, based off Alex Jones.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Maybe
I want him to play. I want him to play Jameson in the MCU. I just want that to happen. I know it won't, but I want it to happen.
Wait.
I want them to get
about
J.K. Simmons back.
What about the Lego games? Can you play as Jameson in the Lego games?
I think so.
Maybe.
They would never hire him.
No, he would never be hired, but we can only dream.
He'd probably accuse them of putting subliminal messages to brainwash our children.
Yeah.
Now I'm remembering that deleted scene from, I think it's Spider-Man 2, where Spider-Man throws away the Spider-Man uniform. It's a deleted scene where like Joe Jameson is dressed up in the spider suit. And he's just jumping about on his desk as Spider-Man.
I've seen that.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I think that's Spider-Man 2.1. That's where you find it.
Yeah.
I've never watched that cut. I'll have to check that out. I love. Have any of y'all seen the new Spider-Man since we're talking about it?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it. I know I'm really.
I've seen it.
I'm
It's
sorry,
it's
but I
great.
haven't seen it.
The trailer looks pretty good.
I'm surprised it's not making as much money as it should, because it's Spider-Man. That's like the biggest Marvel hero. So it's really weird. It's only made like $200 million.
Yeah, but
I still think it's making enough though. Like it's not making Venom money, but I think enough people are seeing it.
Yeah, they already greenlit the sequels, so.
Right.
Wherever I go, the wind follows, and it smells like rain.
Oh god, Nick Cage was so good as Noir. It was good comic relief.
Nick Cage was great. But
I just love the color
Spider-Ham was the best. No, sorry. I was just gonna say that Spider-Ham was the best.
Yeah, no, I like how he utilized him, like, because my rookie, he was.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you guys are gonna talk about spoilers, since I haven't seen the movie, I don't want to like stop you guys, so I'm just gonna leave. But if you guys aren't gonna talk about spoilers, then I stay. So if you guys do want to talk about spoilers, just let me know, and then I can just bounce and I'll join the next stream.
No, don't bounce. I'll contain what I was gonna say. Wasn't really a spoiler.
Okay.
Spider-Ham's mainly utilized as like comic relief. He's not really a focus. He's just kind of there. And I like how they utilized that, where they didn't over stress him, because Rookie, he was like, I don't know, they got this pig Spider-Man and stuff. I don't know anything about the comics, so I don't know what this is doing. And it's like they managed it all really well, kept it focused on Miles and Peter Parker. Or Peter B. Parker in this universe. It was really well contained, and you didn't really feel alien. Because I remember I tried to read the Spider-Gwen comics collection, and it like her story starts after like some event in Marvel beforehand, and so it's like hard to actually get into her comic. So it was very like alienating for like, because I don't read a lot of comics, so it's like, oh, Spider-Gwen, she's hot. I got a couple statues. Let me read her stuff, and it's like, oh, I don't know about this. But the color scheme in her universe is cool, and they utilize each Spider-Man's color scheme really well when they introduce them. Like they all introduce like small origin stories, like I'm Spider-Man from 1939, this and that, and it's like,
1933.
33, yeah.
I mean, mentioned that he fought Nazis, yet America didn't start fighting them until 1937.
Yeah, that was. That was
well, they
a little
do
hiccup, I guess,
universe
in the
traveling.
writing.
Maybe
So.
they can do time traveling too.
Yeah, but overall, it was a good movie. I really loved the visual style of it too. The
Yeah.
animation.
Dude, the sound.
And the
I
sound.
love
Too.
like the tone or theme that they would use for Prowler. I thought that was really cool. It really stuck out, and I want to hear more of him, but you know, we'll see going forward, I guess. But no, the soundtrack is really cool. It managed kind of like that Guardians or Suicide Squad kind of new age soundtrack with actual good elemental and orchestral music. So it was just well balanced. I was just really sad when I went to the theater because I asked the attendants that have already seen. I'm like, hey, is this as good as Spider-Man 1 and 2? And they're like, they looked at me like I'm stupid for thinking 1 and 2 are really good movies. And it's like, you don't know good character movies if you don't like those movies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that this is definitely one of the best Spider-Man movies. I don't think it's better than Spider-Man 2, though. But that just might be like my nostalgia blindness talking.
No, see, I disagree. Like, because it seems to be a trend where whenever they make a new iteration, they're like, "This is the best one," especially with Spider-Man. And I think this one really holds up well, and it's unique because it has so many, but it's focused on Miles and Peter. But yeah, I think there's a trend of like, oh, there's a new one, so you forget the old one. Like me, I like Superman. I like the Man of Steel kind of story, even though I know it's not great because I read a few Superman comics. I'm like, I get what they're doing now. I get this whole story now. If you're not into the comics at all, you're like, this is pretty brutal and it's depressing. And I appreciate Richard Donner's Superman, but not being raised with it, I think there's a nostalgia factor for some movies like Superman. But the character portrayal in the original is still good. So it's a kind of weird divide in my head that way for Superman as opposed to Spider-Man with quote unquote nostalgia.
Yeah.
I think
no, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that there's a slippery slope. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, so I can't say with this movie, but I can say with like Man of Steel and like a couple other ones that I think there's a slippery slope when you try to be like, okay, we're not gonna be like this previous one,